Grant went.
Brian didn't even respond. He was like, "Fuck your shit." He's like, "I'm busy."
Brian is not down with Canada.
No, I'm not either. I think this is the fucking dumbest idea I've ever. Who came up with this idea and why? Grant.
Mute him.
Yeah.
Dave now.
Wait, what?
Muting Dave.
Yeah.
This is a great topic.
This is a terrible topic.
No, this is a great topic.
It was me. I came up with this one when the thought of Trump being president again came into my mind, and where are we going to run to? Run to Canada. What are some awesome things about Canada?
I want you to do an 80s song, like an homage to 1980s music called Run to Canada. Run so far away. Just run to Canada.
Run to Canada.
What episode are we on, John?
I have no fucking idea.
Segue, Ron.
Let's talk about our Canadian brothers.
Before we get into that, I would like to look at your background. You guys slut-shamed me into changing my background, so it's obvious what I'm going to talk about. And I see this, but behind you, Ron, I see this thing called The Canadian Mounted. Is that actually a book?
It is not. I researched it. I was going to try to find it. It's just a prop book for the movie. And your favorite Canadian actor, Ryan Reynolds, happens to use it in a Deadpool movie also.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. So
we're tying it all together.
Wow.
This is just like when we talked about Deadpool, and now we're talking about Canada. It's all tied together.
So we all picked 3 subtopics about Canada or things about Canada that we appreciate and we like. I
just want to go on record as we had an incredibly well-produced episode last time. I just want to tell you, with all the videos and everything. I mean, I want to just say that I get a lot of props for that. And on this one, I'm going to go a little backwards and this is maybe a little chaotic because I forgot to label these things correctly. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah, so we'll see how this all works out. Okay.
How about this, John? Why don't you just throw something up and then whoever...
All right. We'll start with Ron, one of his, and we'll just go from there. Okay. Ron, here is your one.
Life.
My life.
I picked the Canadian flag.
One of the best flags. Come on, you have to admit, the country, maple trees, and you just throw it into a flag, you know? It's like if we did the bald eagle on the American flag. How awesome would that be? That's how I see this. It's like, what do you have going for you? Put it on your flag.
So is there anything, Ron, so fucking iconically American that we could just throw
I don't know. Cheeseburger?
Is it a bald eagle?
Yeah.
A fat person? Does a fat person count? Can we just put a profile picture of a fat person on there?
Yeah.
It's missing hockey sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like X's.
Little
like
cross hockey sticks at the bottom.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of beer bottles. A couple of beer bottles down at the bottom. Yeah.
You know, the amazing thing about this, though, the one historical thing I will bring up, because I didn't know much about the flag. The one thing is, this flag wasn't adopted until 1965. It's like a really new flag.
What was the flag before it?
It was kind of bluish with the English flag up in the corner. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Not as awesome as this, by far.
No. All right. That was...
I love it. I love that. That sets the tone for the entire episode.
Oh, yeah. We're for sure. We're going to go, let's see here. Let's go over to one of Dave's here. We'll pick, let's see here. Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. We'll go here, and then I'll go here. See, this is not as well produced. I apologize.
We'll go here and a little bit of there.
Oh, yeah. So... This is...
I had no idea what Dave was talking about, so I just picked pictures of wrestling.
I appreciate your lack of effort.
You said pro wrestling. I don't know what that means.
So really, honestly, pro wrestling and hockey and donuts and they're all staples of Canadian culture. There are a handful of Canadian wrestlers that really broke mainstream and were really big guys. And wrestling, I mean, Bret Hart is from fucking Canada, and the whole Hart Foundation, that's not the Hart Foundation, those are the Bushwhackers, but we'll let it be. So it started with the Hart Foundation. It went on to people like Chris Benoit and oh my God, the guy from Fozzy, I can't remember his name.
But is wrestling, like, did it, I didn't know it originated from.
I don't know if it necessarily
Oh my
Canada,
God,
but it's extremely popular in Canada.
Okay, we have to have a talk.
Canadian
All right.
wrestlers came out.
No, me and Grant have to have a talk
wishy-washy there, Dave.
with you and Ron. First off, this was movies, TV, music, and pop culture. You two jagalopes picked fucking the flag and like fucking maple syrup, for God's sake. No spoilers, but you picked a food item, for God's sake.
Hey, I could
You
have
just picked the essence. Why don't you just go, oh, the essence of Canada or something? I mean, we
Like to breathe in Canada.
I don't even know what you.
French
Ron picked a
sneakers.
city, for God's sake. What are we talking about?
It smells like Labatt beer and maple syrup and donuts. And
Ah, shit. Like,
that's the essence of
So,
it.
Dave, I thought for sure you would pick Letterkenny as one of your choices. Just because
I love that for you. I
nobody
love that
picked
for you.
Rush. I can't believe you didn't pick Rush. I thought you loved Rush.
Who, me? No, I hate Rush. I think Rush is terrible. Rush is fucking awful.
Nobody picked Celine Dion, for God's sake.
Story of her life.
Poor
What are you
Canada.
talking about? Why would we pick Celine Dion?
Oh, these guys, by the way.
Maybe we should do that. The rest of the show should be who we didn't pick.
Yeah. Wait, I picked Justin Bieber.
So by that rationale, John, I could have picked the Hart Foundation and we would have been fine.
Exactly. Fair. Yes. It would have been nice if you just went straight a Canadian wrestler. Or so. I thought, honestly, like Grant, that wrestling had started in Canada. I was like,
I know. We totally got Daved.
All right, move on.
So I almost picked Curse of Oak
God.
Island
Oh, God.
because
but
we
that
all
would've-
know how much.
Oh,
fucking
that's like
killed
one of your
you.
favorite.
I would have
reality-
killed you for
reality
sure.
shows.
All right,
But I
but Grant here. I'll go to this. This is what Grant picked. This is one of Grant's. Oh, Dave, you adorable man, you. All right, all right. So
You're
Grant,
adorable man.
speaking of adorable man, we went with Grant with the old Michael J. Fox. See, this is perfect, Grant. Great pick, by the way. Your great pick. Well done. Right on topic.
Alex P. Keaton.
I mean, look at this handsome son of a bitch. Look at this is.
He looks like a pro wrestler right there, by the way. He
This
looks like
is
a
it.
pro wrestler.
I think this is his first movie. He was known as Michael Fox. Anybody know what it was?
No.
Class of 1984. He was one of the kids that was being bullied by the punks in Class of 1984. Great movie, by the way. Yeah, so this is Michael Fox. And then this is Alex P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox. Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox. Just a national goddamn treasure from Canada.
Yep.
One of the great imports from Canada. Is there any movie that it isn't like a pop? What's your secret favorite Michael J. Fox movie that isn't like Doc Hollywood or Back to the Future?
Secret of my success.
Yeah, that's the only answer, Grant.
Yeah.
Secret of My Success is so good.
So good.
It doesn't get a lot of play. Like that movie's not really like talked about or anything.
Okay, no, if it's not that, I would say Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Oh wow, okay. Is that not one of the, I would have probably put that in the popular. That's
Yeah.
like one of his more popular ones. And I don't know if that's a good movie though.
Oh, it's so good.
What was the movie where he played Joan Jett's brother and they were in a band together? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Where he wore a hat? No. Did he have a hat on?
Did he have a hat on? He played guitar in it, and it was
There is a movie where he plays guitar. What is that movie?
Joan Jett's his sister. It's lighter shaded dark or some shit.
Remember the one where Ralph Macchio had to battle the devil and he played guitar? Was that
That's
Crossroads?
fucking called Crossroads, and Steve
great.
Vai is the devil, by the way, which is fucking awesome. I love that.
Speaking of like movies you just never ever hear about ever again is like
Or Zap.
Zapped is fucking great. Okay, I hate Scott Baio, but Zapped is amazing. Okay,
That should be the name of this episode. I hate Scott Baio, but
Zapped is amazing.
the Canadian episode. I don't fucking know what the fuck is going on
Oh
right
my god! Oh, like I'm just scrolling through the old Mike Fox. Oh, there's Class 84. So you're saying there's a movie where he plays the guitar, Light of
He plays
Day.
the guitar.
Light of Day.
What is it called?
Light of Day.
Light of Day. That's what
Is
he
that
did.
where we're going? Joan Jett. Yep.
Yeah,
There
and
you
it's
go.
one of those darker movies, kind of like, oh God.
Bright Lights, Big City.
Yes. Yeah. It's like the
Michael
dramatic turn, right? It's like when he took a dramatic turn.
I'm a huge Jay Fox head. I'm a Fox head.
He just retired. I don't know if you
know.
saw that, but yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, what's he gonna do? But yeah, shame.
Oh, and what did I do here? I kind of did something cuckoo bird here. Let's see. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right. My pick was, since let's see here. Boom. Canada's favorite super team.
Would that be Canada's only super team?
True. Very
Okay.
true.
Cool.
I picked Alpha Flight, but I did put this cover up because I wanted to recognize that Magnolia did some awesome covers for Alpha Flight.
Did he do any interiors on Alpha
Oh
Flight?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
amazing.
He may have done this one. I'm not sure. But yeah, they
It was
were
not
really
that
good.
bad. I keep it around there.
Yeah. This is great. Like Alpha Flight Sneaky has like some of my favorite superheroes in it, and it's like, but they're so lame that they just have been pushed to the side. Like I love Guardian, I love Sasquatch, I love Puck. Those are three of my faves. I mean, I'm definitely down for Shaman is in there too.
Yeah,
And then later on, Box and Talisman. And I mean, they've got some great characters in Alpha Flight, and they've been kind of dissed. You know, this was a concept that I loved of theirs though. Alpha Flight introduced this Beta and Gamma Flight. Beta, this is before issue 12, or before Guardian died. They had the Beta and the Gamma Flight. Beta had Box and Marina and Puck, and then Grant. Do you remember the black and white guy's name?
fuck.
I know it's
I cannot remember.
the flashback. I think it's flashback. And then there's Diamond Lil, Madison Jeffries, Wild Child, and then Smart Alec. And what I really love about flashback, his character's rad. He could pull versions of himself from any point in time. Okay, I think it's like past or present or future even. And so in one of the issues, he like pulls his one of his dudes from wherever in time, and he gets
From the
killed.
future.
Yeah, and he gets killed. And like he's like, oh shit, I just died in the future. He doesn't know, and you don't know which character, like where in the future it is the person you just pulled that from. So it's like, yeah. So Alpha Flight I thought was a really great group. And
Can I just say, Puck's fucking origin bullshit?
What is Puck's origin?
Gotta be one of my least favorite origins.
Okay, Grant, give us the quick, what is Puck's origin?
So Puck was like this big, tall, strapping adventurer, like Indiana Jones type dude. And he discovers this fucking like genie. And the only way to trap it so it doesn't like kill everybody or some weird thing, there's like a magic sword that traps this magical being, and he like thrusts it in himself, which halves his size. But it doesn't just have his size. He's basically like a little person, you know, and it's just weird and way out there. Like it would have been so much better if he was just like a Batman character where he's like a little person, but he just trains his ass off and becomes badass, you know, but they had to throw this weird, stupid backstory in there. I don't know. I used to love him. And then when I found out all that, I was like, nah.
When did they reveal his origin?
It was a lot later. I want to say early 90s.
Well, there you go. I mean, you could probably like throw a dart at a fucking at a board and pick one fucking story that was good in the 90s. Like, they're all fucking terrible.
What are those games? Take the first letter from your first name, and then this is your power. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to play that game next. Thanks for the idea, Ron. Thanks for this idea and that idea, because we're going to do it.
All right. Well, let's see here. Let's go to one of Ron's picks here. His fantastic picks that were totally in line.
I guess Ron and I didn't get the assignment. We just said, fuck it.
Ron picked a fucking city. So, in pop culture, this city would be...
Wait, I got the connection. X-Files. X-Files was filmed there quite a bit.
I almost picked X-Files, but then I was like, they only filmed the show there. And then I was thinking, there's a bajillion awesome movies and shows that were filmed in Canada, but they didn't actually take place there. So you can't really use that.
Sorry, Ron.
Oh, that I guess is picks. Oh, this is an awesome city.
I'll allow it because they have a lot of weed there.
Yeah, they legalized it there. The city itself, it kind of reminds me of a clean San Francisco. So like, it's kind of a home away from home going there.
At this point, Ron, Oakland is a clean San Francisco.
It looks really pretty, I will say that.
Yeah, it's got the same sort of stuff, but except for the mountains, right? Because those mountains in the background are, what makes
What's wrong with the mountains? Are you dissing the mountains?
No, I'm saying that's what makes it amazing. Like around here, it's kind of like being in San Francisco and having the Sierra Nevada like scrunched right up next to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You have these beautiful mountains that you can go skiing on and stuff like that. It's just, there's awesome food there. People seem more laid back than in California. It's just an awesome place.
You are describing Denver, by the way.
Yeah.
We were just there and we were like, oh my God, we're like flanked by mountains. It's pretty flat, but it's not on a weird, that looked like an inlet of water. It's not like that at all. But I mean, it is really like clean air and clean living, it feels like. Being there and then coming back to LA, we were like, ugh, it's fucking gross here.
All right, let's see. Let's go to one of Dave's here. Very heavy into the pop culture with Dave's. It's this, I don't know if you remember this issue of Spider-Man where he fought maple syrup, but here it is.
Hey, I've had plenty of comic book strip described as maple syrup, John.
You've drank many pints of maple syrup as you've read your comic books.
But fun fact, I will say this. 95% of the world's maple syrup comes out of Canada, and there's organized crime that runs the whole fucking thing. It is the most interesting fucking thing that you could dive into, and it's why I wanted to throw it in here. We were listening to a true crime podcast, and they were talking about these dudes that reminded me of Grant that went and stole like 60 barrels of maple syrup, and that was like $1.2 million.
Did they put it on top of their car and just drive off with it?
No, they basically rented their storage.
Yeah, hold it on top of their car.
They rented their warehouse and they were like, wait a second, we're storing maple syrup for this other company. And they went and embezzled it. They just swapped out the barrels and fucking stole like millions of dollars worth of maple syrup. It was fucking great.
They stole dime bags. You want some syrup, guy?
Yeah, wouldn't it be rad though? No, but they did just swap out barrels. They like just dumped it into barrels, filled the barrels with water, and returned them, just like Grant would do. I mean, it was
that's how you do it.
Textbook Grant material.
I took some maple syrup and I poured it into a lady's engine. I charged her for the oil.
Never knew.
She never knew. She got 1 foot down the road and her car exploded.
So yes, maple syrup, another a staple of Canada, and we all appreciate the maple syrup.
All right, let's go here. Can we do maple donuts? Do maple donuts count in this?
Well, because it's made of maple syrup, I would have to say yes, John.
Right. All right. How much syrup is too much syrup?
Never enough.
Perfect answer.
You just gotta, like, if you're feeling low and you're questioning yourself, just melt some butter into it, and you're like, yeah, that's the best. I'm hungry now. Thanks.
I know.
So there, in the Miller household, the kids were introduced to a magical elixir we call the mixture. And it is equal
John,
parts.
wait, hold on a second.
I don't
Pause.
know what's
Mute.
happening. This is not good.
This is literally someone bring divorce proceedings. This is not.
Listen.
It's the sweat off of Jessica's back.
It's almost equal parts syrup, peanut butter, and butter. And
back hair.
And you heat it up, and it's like almost caramel like texture, but it's very buttery syrup with peanut butter.
This is why your kids held on to their baby fat for 10 years longer than they should.
That's right.
YI.
It's magic.
I did want to say shout out to Canada for inventing peanut butter.
So basically, that's a almost purely Canadian mixture you've got there.
Yep.
All right. By the way, there is nothing better than taking peanut butter, putting it on pancakes, and then putting maple syrup on top of it. So your elixir, your mix, whatever the fuck you call it, I cannot argue that it's probably very fucking delicious.
It is.
All right, let's see here. I think I lost something. Oh yeah, I did. Hang on. I lost who we are. We're on Grant right now. Grant, this is your Canadian life. All right, what did Grant do? Grant picked. Here we go.
Oh my God. So for me, this is Canada.
It's 100% Canada. This is it.
When I first was introduced to this show, which I can't remember if it was at your house, John, or if it was my house, whatever.
Who cares?
I know.
I watched it.
They spoke a little differently, and I didn't know why. But I knew it wasn't like an Eastern thing. And we were just kids, but I was like, they're very different from us. And I could not put my finger on it. And then, I don't know, maybe the first year we were watching it, I found out they're from Canada. I go, that's what Canadians are. They're these weird people, right? But they make a funny ass show.
Yeah. They are the inventors of slime.
Yep.
Like slime was not a thing before fucking You Can't Do That on Television. Would dump that shit and water. Grant, can you remember when they
Wait, did you just say the Canadians invented water?
No, they invented dumping water. No.
They invented golden showers.
Grant, can you remember why they would dump water and or slime on people?
I believe the trigger was when someone said what?
That's a stupid trigger. They had this guy who played Barfy, and then he played like the studio manager too, or the studio guy, right?
Yeah.
And this shit was just pure comedy. I love this stuff so much. I couldn't get enough of this show.
It was for the time, it was very Saturday Night Live-ish, but they kept doing the same characters in the same settings.
There was Joe. Joe was the main girl in the first couple. But what was the guy? Kevin Kubiak?
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh man, I had a big man crush on, or boy crush on that guy. He was one of my faves. And then also, see how we do this, Dave? We can give you a 2-for-1 on this. No. Grant gave you a 3-for-1 on this, okay? Because we got You Can't Do That on Television is 1. Slime is 2. That's from Canada. And can we get our bonus round, Grant? On the right-hand side, Alanis Morissette comes from You Can't Do That on Television.
Wait. Hold on a second. I got to ask this question. Which one of these people is Alanis Morissette?
The one on the right is Alanis. You can't tell that?
No. They look
littler one. That looks like exactly like her.
Look, the other one's wearing glasses and is incognito, bro. I don't even know if that's a dude or a chick on the left.
Uh-huh. So I would have found a picture of Alanis Morissette where you were not going to be able to tell it was her at all. And I was like, Dave, this is her. I'm telling you, it's her.
I would have believed you.
I know, Dave. Don't ignore the one that looks like her. It's her. It's this one right here.
The one on the right doesn't look like Alanis Morissette to me either, man. Isn't that ironic? Come on.
Don't you think?
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, Dave. Well, you ought to know. What?
Oh, my God. One time, Grant went down on me in a theater.
It was right. All right, let's go on to one of mine here. I I fucked up and I erased one of mine, so I'll just. I was doing a lot of racing.
Wow, you really did a 180 from last time we did this, brother.
I know. I picked the Kids in the Hall. We don't even really. I mean, what can you say about them? These fucking 5 dudes are some of the funniest dudes ever on television. This was one of the. You had your Monty Python. I was a big Saturday Night Live head. This was the next iteration of all that, Well, I'm sorry, this is the 3rd iteration. I'm going to talk about the second one, but this one is where a sketch show came out. It was produced by Lorne Michaels, although they were from Canada, and it was on late on like Fridays and Saturday nights and on HBO. And I fucking love these guys. I love all their characters. I mean, I love their, I love Brain Candy, the movie. I've tried to watch everything they've ever done. There's news that they're coming back to, what did I say, Grant? HBO or Amazon?
Amazon.
Nice. So they're going to come back and do some more. I've seen them live, and it was just incredible. These guys are some of the funniest ones. My favorite out of these guys probably is Kevin, the bushy-haired guy here, and then maybe Bruce. I don't know. I love all these fucking kids. You guys Kids in the Hall fans?
Yes, 100%. I mean, holy shit. I mean, our entire college life was naming characters out, Grant's dates after characters from this show, of course. Look at his frozen face. Look at Grant's frozen face. There she is, baby. There's your girl.
This gave us Chicken Lady to fucking the crushing the head guy to the fucking succubus and the demon. I mean, there are so many incredible characters that were created by Kids in the Hall. The Eradicator is where he's playing racquetball. It's the Eradicator guy. You ever see that where he shows up? He's a racquetball dude, but he shows up wearing a stocking cap over his face. He's got like a stocking mask, and he's got his racquetball has a skull with like 2 rackets on it. Fucking great show. Fantastic. Brain Candy is also one of my like all-time fave movies. Super hard to find too.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever seen that.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Really? Mm. You guys haven't seen Brain Candy?
You gotta think that if Amazon's bringing that show back, that all of it's going to wind up on Amazon.
I hope. Brain Candy's been hard to find, but it is well worth it. They play every character pretty much in the movie. There's not like, and there's a lot of characters. So it's like each one of them plays like different characters and stuff. It's pretty incredible. It's a whole plotted out movie and everything. There's like a storyline. It's so fucking bizarre and weird, but incredible. I highly recommend it. Let's see here. Let's go to, okay, I want to open this up here, but I'm going to go to one of Ron's because Ron, this is the only one that Ron got kind of close to the actual topic of what we were talking about. Yes. Is this what you picked?
Any iteration, you can even put that character up. Just the name Sasquatch is awesome. That's anything Sasquatch.
I couldn't fucking figure it out.
It's mostly though because of the Alpha Flight character.
Okay, hang on, because I also I didn't know what you were talking about, so I pulled both.
Yeah, to me, I'm a fan of the big muscle bound characters, and Sasquatch was badass when he went to fight the Hulk. Just to see how his powers and stuff were going to come together is just, yeah.
Did you know that Walter Langowski and Bruce Banner were college roommates?
Nice.
Yeah. And Walter Langowski, although a jock, is also very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Although a little bit of a faker. He's a fake intelligent, I guess you would say.
Hmm.
But I like Sasquatch a lot as a character, as a Marvel character. I also like Bigfoot and Sasquatch.
Why? I'm trying to remember why Langowski made Gamma Machine. Was it to
be like Bruce? No, he wanted to. No, that was it. He wanted to be like Bruce.
Was that it?
They actually just brought him into Immortal Hulk. So if you go back and they just discussed this whole thing where he talks about, I was like a jock, but then like when you got famous, See, he's looking at more of like he's the Hulk, he's famous. So he's like, I can do what Bruce does, even though he was kind of a coattail rider.
So is he like, I'm going to turn into a giant monster that everyone fears and chases? Or is he like...
Well, dude, look at all of them, right? Like Samson, Leader, all these dudes like that thought they were going to get the Hulk and ended up becoming whatever that other version of themselves is supposed to be. So, but it turns out that Sasquatch, although he turns into this, is not technically...
He's not like a gamma dude.
No, This is actually a great beast. This is one of the great beasts. Kondak or one of the great, like they have these 5 great beasts or something like that. And he's one of them. And so he slowly gets taken over by the great beast and they have to get him out of this body, I believe. And he ends up going into Snowbird's body and is a white Sasquatch at that point. Do we remember that?
Imagine being a super scientist and then being like, they fucked me with magic. Like,
yeah.
My shit actually worked out.
It was something like he had his lab set up like over the Indian burial ground. It was like something like that, right? It was like where he had the lab.
Yeah,
was like a portal.
Energy sucked the great one into him or something.
It sucked the great one, all right.
The character's badass, so even if the origin isn't the greatest,
and he totally bangs Aurora like all the time. She's super into him.
That I love is the best thing that brings him back to cool.
Wow. She bangs Aurora all the time, guys. I mean, jeez. All right, let's see here. Let me go to one of Dave's. Now, I asked. It was funny, like. We did this and I said, okay, guys, I got all these, but Dave, I need you to send me particularly this one and just send me like a normal, regular image of it, just of this character or this person. And he sent me 3 pictures of this person. And I was like, it's weird that he would send me these version pictures of him, but like he had these quickly. Like I was like, Dave, send me a picture of Ryan Reynolds. And he's like, hang on. I have all these on my hard drive. I've got all of them. Just give me a minute. Let me send you these. I got to use them real quick. Dave, how many of these pictures do you have on your hard drive?
17 at least.
I just Googled shirtless Ryan Reynolds. Now my internet search is all screwed up.
So, yeah. All right. Going back to it. This dude dated Alanis Morissette too. Like these 2 national treasures.
That little boy that we saw in that picture from before?
Oh, is that Ryan Reynolds? That'd be amazing.
That would have been amazing.
All right, let's talk about this guy. He's American, right? Because he's so fucking famous here. It's like being like if The Rock was Canadian or some shit. But yeah, dude's making movies. He's making some great movies.
He's married to that lady.
Say again?
What's her name for The Shallows? God.
Blake Lively.
There you go.
But he also banged down on I think Scarlett Jo. He's banged a lot of broads. This guy.
Look at him. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 packs.
You just said, look at him. Of course he bangs a lot of
What's
chicks.
so great about dudes that are good looking is they have good looking nips too. I mean, I swear, like you take me with my shirt off and my nips go all flap. They look like they should have maple syrup poured all over them. They're like some flapjacks.
More like I can suck maple syrup out of your nips.
Oh yeah, dude. Seriously, they look like cow teats. I mean, look at this guy's nips. They're perfect.
But the dude is so fucking funny.
He is.
I mean, I just watched Waiting again.
Oh, it's so good.
That movie's so good.
Yeah. John based his entire 30s on that movie. That's your movie.
The worst part of that movie is the goat, or the goat.
Yeah. No,
that's the dumbest part. But everything else in that movie is hilariously good in that. They nailed that movie.
I'll say this about him too. I think that maybe potentially his humor overshadows the fact that he can actually act too. Did you guys ever watch that movie Buried, where it's just him?
What's that? What does he do in it? I can't remember.
So I think he's like a contractor in the Middle East, and there's like a raid on the fucking the build, and then they bury him and they try to ransom him off. It's him with his cell phone talking to his loved ones. It's an hour and a half. It's pretty great.
Does he do a 1-inch punch to get out?
No.
Well, that's fucking stupid. That's fucking dumb.
Everyone's a critic, John.
I know. Okay, what was his first TV show? Go.
Oh, I have no idea.
No?
Oh.
No bonus points for any of you guys. I was gonna give you you guys bonus points. It was Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place was his first TV show.
Yeah.
Now there was, shockingly, I'm gonna blow your minds with this. There were 2 guys and a girl that were in the cast. I know that's crazy. Can you tell me who there was not? This is not the one of the other guys of 2 guys, but the boyfriend of the girl was played by another very famous superhero character or a sci-fi character. Do you know the actor that played the boyfriend in that show?
Chris Evans.
Nathan Fillion.
What?
Nathan Fillion and Ryan Reynolds were in the same show together back in like the early or late 90s. Yes. Can you fucking believe that shit?
That's crazy.
And it had the dumbest name in the history of TV show. 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
I I always think of Nathan Fillion being like way older than Ryan Reynolds, but maybe I'm just crazy.
You know, he looked very similar even back on that show. Nathan Fillion did. He wasn't like, whereas Ryan Reynolds looked a lot, he still looked very similar, but younger version of him. Nathan Fillion still looked like Nathan Fillion. So, all right. That was good times. That was a good one. I'm all turned on. You guys all turned on?
I'm more turned on by the idea that your tits might secrete maple syrup.
Oh, I'll pull them out if you'd like. Let's go to Grant's last one. Grant picked another upstanding Canadian citizen.
Sabretooth?
Is he really Canadian, Grant? Or is this Dave's Pro Wrestling? How do we know that?
He grew up with Logan.
Is that in Canada?
Did he?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, they were like bros. Like in Logan, they talk about that.
Yep.
This is his first issue. Dave, you got that?
I do want that. It's not even that expensive of a book anymore, and I really, really want it.
It's a good one.
Because that cover is fucking great.
It's great. His the first time weirdly, it is so funny. The first time I ever saw him was Power Man and Iron Fist, I believe, 85. So he was in that comic first before I even saw him in a Marvel book.
Hey, by the way, is that the way you spell Sabretooth? Look at Sabretooth. What is
Sabra?
Sabratooth.
Sabratooth. This one is.
Oh, man, that comic is fucking great. I love that comic. By the way, Alan Davis drawing Psylocke is one of the hottest things ever. It's so great. My young mind exploded when I saw this comic.
Well, that's even pre Ninja Psylocke. That's that's British Psylocke right there.
I actually really, really like British Psylocke. Where she's just Captain Britain's sister, way more than like Asian Psylocke, which doesn't make any sense.
Why did you pick Sabretooth, Grant?
Just because he's always been one of my very favorite characters, and he's Canadian.
I like that you were like, I'm going to pick this guy because I don't want to pick Wolverine. That's why you picked this fucking guy. Come on.
Well,
none of us picked Wolverine. I was shocked.
I know. I figured somebody probably would, but either way, it's cool. So one of the things that's really cool about Sabretooth is, like Wolverine, his backstory was always very shrouded in mystery, and you didn't know. So you basically got his backstory the same time as you got Wolverine's, and I like that. It's cool.
Yeah. You know what? I think though that you're right. These characters, I think, may have been cooler when they were shrouded in mystery, though. I think that, like Sabretooth, Wolverine, Puck, it sounds to me like fucking Sasquatch a little bit. They might have been cooler looking than they were cooler in their origins later. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I like that you didn't pick Wolverine, by the way.
Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, look at that.
You teleported.
Did you see that? That's let me stop that share there. Something happened. I like Sabretooth. He's one of my favorites. I don't think right now, do you know where he is, Grant?
I do not.
They're in the House of X, right? They're like
they brought that fucking guy in. Okay, they got the whole council now. They got the fucking they got these guys are in Apocalypse and these guys are in charge. They bring this dude in and they're like, hey, you're going to fucking do what we want you to do. And you're going to, because this is how it is now. We're all good, bad. We're all together now. We're mutants. This is how it is. You're going to do what we want. And he's like, nah, fuck you guys. Like, he's Sabretooth, you know, he's like, nah, that's cool. I don't really give a shit. And they were like, okay. And just had Krakoa suck him down into the middle of Krakoa. So he's now basically stuck in the middle of the island right now. They like won't let him out. He's the only.
That's like the prison.
Yeah, it's the only mutant that they've imprisoned because he's the only one they'd think that they can't control. And he's too much of a wild card that he'll probably go off and like, you know, they can't have anybody going out killing anybody. Because,
right.
You know, so they're like, nah, sorry, Sabretooth, like, but you got to go. So they're like,
what do you think of that series, John? Are you loving it? Because I love it.
I think it's really good. I mean, I'm reading X-Men, X-Force, and I think one of the other books, and it's really good. I really like it a lot.
Are you reading in order, like as they come out, or are you reading them like? Okay.
Well, I mean, I did chunks in the beginning, but now I'm caught up, so I've been reading every week it comes out or whatever, or every month.
Okay.
It's been really good.
There was X of Swords.
Huh?
The X of Swords.
I haven't read that. I've been reading Excalibur, and it's pretty good. I know Teeny is the writer, and she's a friend. But it's not as good as the X-Men book because, and it might be partially the characters, but they all tie in together. So like you kind of feel like you need to read all of it together. Yeah,
some of it's weird. Like I do feel like I'm missing out on some stuff, but not a ton. The funny thing in X-Force that they just sort of did, I thought was really good was Wolverine comes back from a mission, and then Jean, who is also part of X-Force, comes back, and she's like, what happened? He was like, it was a clusterfuck, and he's like in this pool, like in this hot tub, and she's like, oh, cool, just takes off all her clothes, gets into the hot tub with him, and then, but I know she's still with Cyclops, so it's like I'm pretty sure they're doing the old triad right now, as if that's true.
The Devil,
huh? The Devil's Triangle?
I think Wolverine and like in the House Summers, I think it is, like they have their own separate like locale where all the Summers people live. So of course there visits, and there's a portal to get to there. So of course they can come through. And I think Wolverine has a room in between fucking Jean's and Scott's. They all have separate rooms, but like, yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Nice.
It's interesting. And you know John jerked off. He was like, yes.
Oh, God, they're in the same hot tub together. Whoo. All right, let's see here. I wanted to go with, this is my last one. Boop, 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 boop. So I picked, this was the second sketch show that came out after Saturday Night Live that I fell in love with. And this was SCTV, which was from Canada. It was Second City TV, which had originated in Chicago as a kind of an improv troupe. But what they did is they sent one up to Toronto. So there was two groups. The Chicago group, of course, produced Gilda Radner, or I'm sorry, not Gilda Radner, Bill Murray, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, like those guys. And then the Canada one had a lot of these guys. John Candy came from Chicago up to Toronto. And then there's Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, Dave Thomas, Rick Moranis. I mean, the cast is probably one of the greatest casts ever assembled. If you really look at some of the comedians that are in this group. There's a really funny story that there was a production of Godspell that was being cast up in Toronto in the 70s. And just out of that cast, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Martin Short, Paul Schaefer, they all like were part of that cast. And they were all like in college at the time. So they didn't even know each other. And they all just showed up to audition for this one production of Godspell. And it's become kind of a huge, footnote in Canadian, TV history that all these famous people were in this one production, and that's how they kind of all met. But I did this. Go ahead.
Without this, you wouldn't have Schitt's Creek. You wouldn't have A Mighty Wind. You wouldn't have Spinal Tap. There's like a ton. You wouldn't have
Bob and Doug, right?
I mean, it's crazy.
John Candy became famous off of this. Martin Short got famous out of this. Like Catherine O'Hara became one of the greatest comedians, around, and Rick Moranis is Rick Moranis. It's the thing. I mean, Joe Flaherty's done stuff. It's crazy how many of these guys have just been so involved in some of the funniest stuff. Some of them went on to Saturday Night Live. It's such a great cast, and the show itself was so bizarre. It was all about a TV network, SCTV, and they would just show these random weird shows. I don't know, Grant, were you ever into this?
Yeah.
Anybody else watch SCTV?
I was never into sketch comedy. Like, you guys love SNL, and I've never really been into it. I mean, like, I appreciate a lot of the talent that's come out of it and a lot of the skits, but like as a whole, it's always like a jumbled mess. Do you feel like SCTV was as good as SNL, or was it just so different?
No, I think that when they had their hit sketches, which are, of course, Ed Grimley, The Great White North, this Floyd Gondola, this the Dracula, I can't remember his name, Count something, but they were very popular, great sketches, and they would go back to them a lot. They were very recurring characters. It wasn't like this show definitely relied on a lot of like recurring characters.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible, though. And I mean, I'm one to say that Martin Short is one of the greatest, funniest people on the planet. And I mean, I could watch him pretty much do anything.
Except the John Mulaney show, which was terrible.
Was it?
You ever watch that?
I didn't watch the John Mulaney show.
It wasn't good. And that's nothing against John Mulaney. I actually like John Mulaney a lot. I just think that like they wanted another Seinfeld, and what they got was the John Mulaney show, and it was like really bad.
And then, of course, our very last one is everybody's favorite superhero, Major Maple Leaf.
Yes, not even Captain Canuck. Not even Captain Canuck.
No, I didn't go with Captain Canuck. I went with Major Maple Leaf.
Does he squeeze maple syrup out of any orifice, or?
He sure does. He shoots maple leaves out of his hands. All right.
All right. Well, there's Canada for you guys. I think that we've just taken it, Ron, as the ambassador for Canada. Did we do an okay job? I know that you had a lot of history, a lot of locales.
I think so. This is a savant tribute.
I will say this, though, and Grant mentioned it earlier, and it might have been during the mini episode, but we didn't pick Letterkenny at all. And that show is pretty fucking great.
I watched a couple episodes. I thought it was pretty good. I couldn't hang with it. It was that and like Trailer Park Boys. Those are shows I think are hilarious, but I just don't watch them.
Yeah.
South Park. Yeah. South Park's another one. I'm not going to diss them, but I'm also not watching them. I'm weird.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Anything else, Grant?
Has anybody been to Canada?
No.
Yep.
Both Look at us. We're so phony. We both really? You've been to the east coast of Canada too?
Yeah. I've been to Vancouver, to Quebec. Even went up to like Nova Scotia and all those Prince Edward Island, stuff like that.
Why? When? What? Why?
Okay, well, Vancouver, friends up there, and recently we went up there, brought the wife and kid, or not the kids, but the wife. And then my honeymoon was actually taking a cruise up the Lawrence River. It was fall time, so it was see the leaves turning colors. It's supposed to be really pretty and stuff like that. And
Was it? You said it was.
No, we actually came too early. That's the thing that kind of sucked. It's like people said, well, if you would have come like 2 or 3 weeks later, the leaves would have been fallen. It's like, oh, whatever. But
I just like
Quebec is awesome.
I just want to go to Oak Island with a shovel.
Oh my God, this fucking guy. So yeah, John, I've been meaning to go to Fan Expo up there in Canada just so I can hang out with my Canadian homies, but I haven't gone. And then with COVID, that shit didn't happen this year. So.
Oh yeah. No, I've really wanted to go to Canada, but I just I've never had a chance to.
Like going into Vancouver, it's like maybe an hour and a half flight, so it's really fast to get there. Everything, it's a West Coast city, so it's just like being here or whatever. It's awesome.
I was trying to find a really good Canadian picture to put up of Jason standing in Manhattan bit that could have just it was really Toronto. So I thought that would be a good shout out to Toronto if I could just find a picture of Jason standing in Manhattan, but really it's Toronto. There's a lot of movies that were filmed in Toronto back in the day, like that were supposed to be New York. It's pretty great. I think like Chud is in Toronto. There's a lot of movies where you're like, oh, we're in New York. Not really.
One of my picks, I almost picked The Fly because Cronenberg. Because I looked up because I wanted to see because pretty much all Cronenberg's movies are filmed in Canada, and so I was actually I looked it up and said what city is The Fly take place in, and he says it's not said, but he said in an interview it was I believe Toronto.
Ah, well, see, we had a lot of bonus picks. All
right, we gotta go. I gotta go make some dinner.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, if you liked what you heard and you're Canadian, you could like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're not Canadian, you can also do that, and we won't judge you for it. We only are accepting likes, subscribes, and comments from Canadians this week, though, unfortunately, guys. That's the way we have to do it. You guys have anything to add to this?
I'm waiting to suck on that maple syrup, baby.
Go watch The Mandalorian, Dave. You're getting your fucking geek.
Yes.
You're getting your geek.
All right, I'll watch it tonight, guys. We'll talk next week, and hopefully I'll be caught up. How about that?
All right, that's good. We'll do a Mando deep dive.
There you go, deep dive Mando.
All right, bye, guys.
Or as Frank says, the Mandalorian.
We didn't even talk about that, by the way.
We didn't. Save it for next week.
Goodbye. Goodbye.